Shalom, brothers and sisters, and once again, this is a short take concerning marriage. A short take concerning marriage. Before we get into the lesson, we want to give all double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to the Achaim. Last but not least, all praises and glorification to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world knows as Jesus and God, or God or Jesus. So this is marriage, real short take. Marriage. So let's look into marriage concerning the ancient world. How did they go through the procedures of marriage in the ancient world? Pay close attention, brothers and sisters. All right. As you can see at the top, this is child marriage in ancient Israelite times that most people like to consider pedophilia, but it's not, brothers and sisters. Let's get into it. In biblical times, people were married at what? Very young age. Okay? So you need to understand that girls in the ancient world were married at very young age, usually betrothed before they reach puberty. See that? So anything before puberty, any particular woman before puberty could have been betrothed if they was engaged to a particular man, or if they was promised to marry that man before puberty, they were known as betrothed. Okay, and we'll show you this in the Bible. It says the majority of the time the marriage will have consummated when the girl reached puberty. So when did the girl get married in the ancient world? When did Israelite girls get married in the ancient world? When they did what? When they reached puberty. That's when they got married. And we're going to show you more. And that was usually between what? The ages of 8 and 9 or older. So that's a very young age that women got married, because when you was capable of puberty, then you was capable of being sexually penetrated. So it says between the ages of 8, 9, and even older. Says note, when a girl reached puberty prior to the 20th century, she was considered to be an adult in most cultural societies. Okay, so it's not nothing like the so-called white man teach you today, brothers and sisters. All right, he makes you wait until you 18 years or older to have sexual relations, or to supposedly be married. But in the ancient world, in the ancient times, Israelite women, when they reached puberty, which was around the ages of 8 and 9 or older, it says they was noted to be what? Considered as an adult. All right? Okay, there's more. It says, let's see. In this article, I would mostly quote scholarly sources to prove that marriage in ancient Israel, marriage in ancient Israel, it says took place at a very young age. Okay, so Israelite woman got married at a very young age. That's what I want to bring out, that most of you today would consider pedophilia. Okay, because it's smart comments that's made on certain Israelite men that's bringing forth this doctrine as concerning Israelite women married at a very young age. Okay, most of you, especially the so-called white man, would consider this statutory rape today, which is not, how should I say that? Most white man, so-called white man, would consider that statutory rape, which is not statutory rape in the eyes of the Most High. Okay. This is from another article, Woman and the Law in Ancient Israel. The ancient Hebrew law code outlined in the Bible unfortunately lacks the detail that can be found in other ancient legal systems such as the Babylonian and Roman, but we can at least summarize the general principles. All right, it says, first of all, marriage was called taking a wife. Okay, number 2, it involved sexual intercourse. So marriage in the ancient world, okay, was what? Sexual intercourse. And I did a video previously concerning this, talking about flowers. Just look at that video I did previously that's talking about the title is flowers. So you can see that marriage in the ancient world was what? Marriage is sexual intercourse, brothers and sisters, not what the so-called white man have taught us today. So I wanted to bring that out because I want to make a clear indication concerning women in ancient Israel. They was very young when they married. All right, this is we'll go up a little bit. This is sexual intercourse in the ancient world. It says every marriage was expected to produce offspring. So when you became married by sexual intercourse, it was like mandatory back in the ancient world to produce offspring, since neither society nor individual could survive long otherwise. Marriage without sex was incomprehensible to the ancients, and so forth. But I want to make a point out of this paragraph. It says the Hebrew law also stated that a man who raped an unbetrothed virgin, someone that wasn't engaged to a particular guy, if a man raped an unbetrothed virgin, was thereby married to her and could never divorce her. And this is Deuteronomy 22 and 28. So a Hebrew guy who raped, right here, who raped an unbetrothed virgin, someone that was not engaged or pledged to a direct man, if a Hebrew brother raped their unbetrothed virgin, it says thereby that was considered marriage, and he was married to her, and he could never divorce her. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. I'm just bringing some things out that went down in the ancient world, brothers and sisters. Here's more information. Now, as you can see right here, it says taking a wife. Now, what we showed you up top, we'll scroll back up top for a second. Just keep in mind, we'll scroll back up top. Let's go all the way back up. It was talking about women in ancient Israel. As you can see, it says marriage was called what? Taking a wife. So, and in taking a wife involved what? Sexual intercourse. So when you took a wife, you basically performed sex, a sexual act on that particular young woman. So that was marriage. So when you take a wife, you pop her and have sexual intercourse. Now the reason why I brought that out because I'm gonna go back down here where it talks about taking a wife. Let's see where we was at. Let's zoom out. Okay, and show you. Let's see. Taking a wife, which is here. We're gonna zoom in. And I want to read something before you see taking a wife. So that's having sexual intercourse. We brought that out before, previously, just a while ago. And if you look at right here, I want to show you something. It says concerning taking a wife. Okay, right here. It says girls typically married at the age of 12 or 13 immediately after puberty. So one might be excused for wondering what chance they had of developing informed opinion beyond that of their fathers. So in the ancient world, what was the age that these young girls were popped? What was the age of they was taken as a wife, and what was the age that these men sexually married these women? Girls typically married at the age of 12 or 13 immediately after puberty. So that's the age, brothers and sisters, when women became married in the ancient world, when sexual intercourse were carried out on the woman in the ancient world. So today they would consider that statutory rape, but that's how it was in the ancient world. Okay. This is Genesis 24 and 15. It speaks about the bride for Isaac, which is Rebecca. Genesis, slide this up a little bit. Genesis 24:15. And it came to pass before he had done speaking that, behold, Rebekah came out and was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Now it speaks on Rebekah, which was Isaac's bride to be, says that she was known as a damsel and was very fair to look upon. So a damsel, when you go into the interlinear concerning damsel, is
Strong's H 5291. Na'ara. Na'ara.
that's Na'ara. Some people say Na'ara. Na'ara. Now, when you look at that, it says, what we're going to focus on, it says, young woman, a young woman, okay, and a marriageable young woman, because when is that time that you're marriageable? If you're a young woman, when is the time that you're marriageable? When you at the basically 12 or 13, after your menstrual period starts to come, or after puberty. That's the marriageable age of a young woman. And that actually, and that, as we showed you in the article, it said that this can be around the age of 8, 9 years or older. So that's the marriageable age after your menstrual, after your menstrual is instituted. Puberty after, that's a marriageable age, whether you 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. That's a marriageable age. That means when it says marriageable, that means you're capable of being impregnated, as we mentioned in the previous video concerning flowers. So a young woman, a marriageable age, a young woman that's capable of being married is a young woman whenever she comes on her menstrual uncleanness. Okay, so that's what damsel in the interlinear Hebrew 52, Hebrew damsel, okay, it's Hebrew 52:91, young woman of marriageable age. So that Rebecca was a young woman of marriageable age. She was very young, probably around the age of 12, 13. It says the damsel was very fair to look upon. She was a virgin, okay, because she wasn't sexually penetrated at that moment. So that's what a damsel. Now, I'm going to prove that a damsel is, when you look at damsel in the Bible, it's a young woman of marriageable age that's around the age of 12 or 13. I'm going to show you that. Show you that right quick, brothers and sisters. Let's getting right to the point to show you. Be getting right to the point to show you the age of a damsel. And this is when Yahushua healed, well, you can say he resurrected a young dead girl. And I'm going to show you that damsel around that age. This is Mark chapter 5 verse 40. Let's go back up a little bit. Go back up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go to Mark 5 verse 40. And let's see. We'll go back up. Start with Mark 5 and 41. He took the damsel. Now remember, we went over that. That's a young woman of marriageable age, brothers and sisters. He took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha Kumi, which is being interpreted, damsel, I say unto thee, arise. Because this was a girl that died supposedly, and he resurrected her. So this was a damsel, right? Now we're gonna show you the age of this damsel. Matthew Salah, not Matthew, Mark 5:42. And straightway the damsel arose. So when Yahushua said unto her, arise, the damsel arose. He walked, for she was the age of 12 years. Okay, and they were astonished with a great astonishment. So this damsel, Salah, this damsel was the age of 12 years. She was 12 years old. And that's the young woman in the Bible that are known as damsels. That's a marriageable age around the age of 12 years, as you can see right here. That's when they basically, you know, became married to Israelite men, young woman that was classified as damsel. So a damsel was around the age of 12 years, the precept Mark 5:42. Okay? So going back into the article, girls typically marry at the age of 12 or 13, immediately after puberty. That's when a young woman, was a marriageable age, around the age of what, 12 or 13. Okay, not like the so-called white man today. He makes you wait until you're 18 years or older, which that's why you can't blame young woman for giving the cookies up, man, at an early age, because that was typical back then in the ancient world. So don't look at a young girl because she's having sex around the age of 10, 11, 12. Don't look at her like something mysteriously is wrong, because in the ancient world it says, girl, this was typical, man. What typical means? Usually. Typical. This is normal, man. Okay, so girls typically marry around the age of 12 or 13, immediately after puberty. Okay, and it says, so one might be excused for wondering what chance they had of developing an informed opinion beyond that of their fathers. So this is dealing with sexual intercourse, man, and that was marriage. Okay, so that's why it says every marriage was expected to produce offspring, because marriage was sexual intercourse in the Bible. So girls actually was having sex around the age of 12 or 13, because sex is marriage, and something that you brothers and sisters have failed to realize. I mean, you have failed to realize that for some reason, but I recommend you to look into this article. It's called Woman in the Law of Ancient Israel. Okay, just look into this article. You know, I might post it in the description box. Just look into that one. Just look into that article. Put it in the description box so you can check that out. So yeah, once again, this is what they did in ancient Israel. Before we close out, let me give you one more verse, because I'm not going to do this again. I done a previous video concerning flowers. Let me give you one last take concerning a verse in the Bible. 1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaves himself uncommonly towards his virgin, that damsel, if she pass the flower of her age, okay, it said, and need so require, if she pass the flower of her age, okay, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sins not. Let them marry. But this damsel has to be a marriageable age. When is she a marriageable age? When she's capable of passing flowers. So we need to get you the precept of that, brothers and sisters. That was 1 Corinthians 7:36. Now we're going to get you the precept. This is Leviticus 15 and 25. Well, let's skip up the 24th verse. It says, and if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, talking about man lying with woman, if her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. What is the flowers in Leviticus 15:24? Okay, let's go down right quick, brothers and sisters. What is the flowers? It says flowers. Okay.
Strong's H 5079. Nida.
5079, Nida, which is flowers. And as you can see right here, it says a menstruation. So that's your menstrual, brothers and sisters. Okay. So, once again, Solid Foundation